No spoilers, no spoilers. But we were talking about the players who complain to the refs the most, and if we could compile a starting five of the most complainingest, we're calling it first team all crybaby.
It's so funny because like almost every player does complain a little bit to the referees, but some players are just like
others.
Some players are pretty explicit.
Richard Jam for it. No question.
For number one,
you're not wrong. Spoilies.
But let's just talk player by player, all that case, how it works out, who you like, who you don't like. But let's start on Luka. Why is Luka your number one with a bullet, first team all crybaby?
God, he really is the GOAT of whining to the refs.
And it's not just because he's European.
No, he
whine, not because of whining.
He'll get calls and whine still. He will not get back on D. He is just constantly irate. And maybe he's one of those players that has to get pissed because that'll happen. Someone will heckle him in the crowd and he'll just turn it on and kick into that extra gear. But man, he is really annoying. And it's there it is. Oh, we got it. There's how and by the way, I hope he gets better soon. But this is constant. We see this all the time. He is really good and he knows it and he thinks he deserves every call. And he might, but he's going to tell you about it.
Nobody deserves every call. And he certainly gets more.
No, I want him shooting 30 free throws a game. I think he deserves it. I think he's great.
I think he should change the name on the back of his jersey from Doncic to Incredulous, and then we'd be in a good place. It's so nuts.
If you're listening on audio, I'm just gaping, just jaw dropped, just every time in shock and disbelief when he doesn't get a call. And I wouldn't mind so much if he didn't just hunt for it so much. We're talking about the difference between, seeking contact with and actually attempting to score, or just like getting a bump and throwing it up. And they got to stop that. But anyway, yeah, there's no debate. Luka, captain, number one, first team all crybaby.
Okay.
Elite complaining skills. It doesn't get much better. You want to tell us the second. So who's his partner in the backcourt?
Who's his partner in crime? It's funny that you say partner in crime. He's definitely not his partner in time, but he is like from the same team, and he might not have the volume right there, but over time he has the most. It's LeBron James, dude. LeBron begs for calls. Look at this picture. He looks like oh my God, why am I blanking on Phil? It looks like Phil Hartman playing Phil Donahue, begging for an answer in the Saturday Night Live sketch from the 90s, which no one remembers, but I do. I care for it. I remember it.
I will not discuss my personal life.
Please. LeBron is just, he complains. He complains nonstop, and it's so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary.
It's almost like there's a trend with Los Angeles Lakers and complaining and divas and ego and attitude. I will say, for context, this was in a game against Boston where he was absolutely hacked I think by Tatum. This is the one where Pat Bev came over to the refs with the camera and got Tina.
One of the best moments in NBA history, I think. The camera grab,
great.
So funny.
You're gonna point, and they're gonna. Oh, well, I see now. Thank you, P-Bev.
Let me change.
Thank you.
That.
I didn't see it that way on this stupid LCD camera screen. But amazing.
Yeah, together, the two. I would hate to be a referee for one, but I just could not stand the begging of call, just reffing a Lakers game. Because not only would I have to hear from these two, the complaints nonstop, I'd also have to hear from the NBA front office to give these guys calls. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just unfortunate that the calls happen so much. He's a great player, arguably the greatest player of all time. I'm going to say, but he does complain a lot.
Well, yeah, as DM for it said, he's the GOAT whiner. Yeah, name a better. He's arguably the greatest player of all time. Definitely the greatest whiner of all time.
Yeah.
There's no debate about that. And you got to put some respect on the name. Crown that man. Goat crybaby. That's my goat.
Crybaby. All right, Mickey, give us another one. Actually, do we want to see if the chat can guess who the next one will be, or do you want to
give him a position and see if they can get it?
Let's go with the big man. Let's get our big man wine on here. Let's go with the 5.
Who is the complainingest center in the league? Anyone.
We did go by position. Oh, for what it's worth.
Yeah, this is a starting 5. So LeBron's at the 3. We'll say we'll put LeBron at the 3.
Is that right? Yeah, I think that is correct. LeBron is at the 3. Chad, you want to lean into it at all? Most of our criteria was just like who we see complaining, who makes the most audacious
faces. This is eye test. Who comes to mind as the whiniest, complainiest center?
I mean, the Luka one was so obvious. People, before we even like really got into what this team was, people were like, Luka.
Correct.
Luka. Yeah. It sounds like he's gonna miss, by the way. So that means Luka, Ant, and Cade are all out of the all NBA team. At this point, they could make an all NBA team of just guys who came in just short. Embiid, that's a pretty good one. Embiid,
pretty good one.
Name
pretty
up there.
One. Yeah, honorable mention for sure. Honorable mention.
Maybe let's put him on the bench. He'll be honorable bench from our squad. But
well, it's like, is he even gonna play? You know, like, is he? Like, I can't see him. You can't whine if you're not suited up.
Unless you're whining about not suiting up, which is what he did yesterday.
God, man, that's making a case. That's making a case. Maybe he is deserving.
But some would say not as deserving as this man. Mickey, why don't you break into it?
Karl-Anthony Towns, very flaily, very, very turn around and yell at the refs. It's pretty constant. Even when he just barrels into the paint without a plan, and just sort of throws the ball up, it seems pretty consistent. A lot of questioning, a lot of just like incredulousness. A lot of this expression that you see here, the hands, the mouth open, it feels pretty consistent. I think he's deserving of the starting slot.
One thing he does that the rest of these players do not do is he actually gets called for the fouls. Like, he's getting called for offensive fouls like crazy. And there are a lot. He's just not as sly. He complains a lot for a guy who has not mastered the craft of being sneaky with the foul. And it's a bummer. It's a bummer. It adds to the lore of Cat because I think people are already like so down on him. But my guy does whine a little bit. I like Cat. I'm pro Cat.
I do. Cat's one of the greatest shooting big men in the game. And by the way, this squad is elite so far.
Right.
This squad, I think that's sort of what we're trying to say is for all of these knocks, this is a 3-headed dragon right now. Yeah. This is any team would kill.
The Lakers would lose their shit if they were able to get Cat. There's like no doubt about it. And Richard said his elbow is
the hook.
Real
the
obvious.
Hook. Yeah, Doug's always writing it into the songs is his hooking.
Yeah, because the hook brings you back. If you want to quote 90s sensation blues traveler, that former guest of the show, Kelly Dwyer, was not a fan of. But yes, the hook does bring you back. And Ibrahim says, bro, y'all remember when B-Ball Paul blocked the shit out of Cat? Yes, I do. Ass on the floor, and Cat did whine after that play. So there's just another semester.
I would too, in fairness.
Well, you wouldn't get away with it. You don't get away with it.
Yeah. All right. So this is a great team so far, but I feel like we need a little defense.
That's not even the direction I was going. I wanted to go a little differently than that.
I was going to save that. I was going to save it.
I don't want to save it.
Take it where you want it. Take it where you want it.
You talked about, in fairness, you would have complained about the fall. I want to say, in fairness, Pistons have a little bit of the complaining problem on their team as well. And you could argue that maybe Cade Cunningham does that a little bit much. If you bring
this is a whole podcast. You got to. And by the way, maybe it wouldn't be like this if he could get a fucking call, but he cannot. So but it's a real chicken or the egg situation. Does Cade not get calls because he complains to the refs, or does Cade complain to the refs because he does not get a call?
I'm sorry. You can't go into GQ and complain about calls and not be on the all crybaby team.
He can sing like a lady. He can sing like Whitney.
He's singing like a lady to the referees trying to get these calls. And we're admitting everybody on this lineup is a fucking baller, but they're also a baller. You know what I mean? Like they're just tears down the eyes for this whole thing. Cade is a little bit of a crybaby, and it's gotten him some technical fouls, I'd say.
I can't sell a foul for nothing, is the quote. But hey, you know, it's have there been a couple times where he's barking at the ref instead of getting back on D? I've seen it. I've seen it.
I've seen him.
I've seen it happen. But that's my goat. I don't care. This by the way, who's beating this squad?
This is
Cade Luka backcourt?
Unreal squad. The defense is a little bit suspect. I will say that. As you brought up, the defense is a little suspect.
We're gonna get there.
And Richard does say that Cade and JD do have their arms up completely. JD is big on the.
I love the turn.
Yeah.
The turn to the after. It's a lot of, not to the other team's bench, not to your bench, to the ref.
Mm-hmm.
To the ref.
Like when you try to call a dog back to come inside, just to turn at you like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
I think if Cade had a catchphrase, it might be "and motherfucking one."
Yeah, I think so. It should say it on his new shoes. It should say "and motherfucking" and then one on the other.
Yeah.
Or "and mother fucking one." That put it on the tongue, dude.
The AMF ones?
Yeah. AMF ones. Oh my god, we named the
I would pre-order. Pre-order.
Bro, let's make the commercial. For real.
Yeah.
You and me, we're gonna make the and MF and one shoes. We'll make that commercial. It's coming out. So get ready for it. Cade, Nike.
Stay tuned.
All y'all.
This spec ad for the and motherfucking.
You want to close out this team, or do you want to give some honorable mentions before we get into
let's give some honorable mentions, and while we do that, feel free to throw out some that you think in the chat. But I will tell you, I would love for you to try to guess the last one. It is a power forward with a defensive-minded power forward.
A front court player. Let's call him that.
Sure. I worry that that's giving too much away. But
my bad.
No, me. I'm worried. Okay. So for an honorable mention, scrappy hustle guy, Josh Hart. I think that's a great name.
Mm-hmm.
One that I personally struggled with because I felt he was deserving was Alperen Sengun.
Oh my god!
I thought he could have started at the 5, but you got to go to Cat's body of work.
Yeah,
you got to. He's been doing it for longer. He's been whining for longer. Alperen Sengun could. He's on his way.
He's on his way. He's a rising star.
He's a rising crybaby. Future is bright for Alfred.
No, he's not quite in the terrible twos, but he's on his way up there.
No, he's making a name for himself in the bitch to the ref arena.
And not to be left out of that whole team world crybabies, but Denny Abdia, dude. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Cry me a river.
There's this, and then there's this. There's
insane gesticulation to get these calls, and it just ain't happening. Well, I mean, it actually is happening. He's getting way more calls.
Yeah, he did. I guess and that's sort of the thing is, does this work? I think that for Luka, LeBron, definitely. Cade, not so much. Not so much.
You gotta get rid of the cat. Cade, not happening. I guess Luka. So you have to end with the ka on there. We're not gonna have any other suggestions. Do you want to give out the Brunson?
Brunson's that's a great name.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Can I give a quick shout out to Brunson though? I saw an Instagram video from his podcast where he said he's never used Chat GPT in his life. Fucking good for you, dude. Mad respect to Brunson for that.
Sick flex.
Mm-hmm. There's one more. We already have our guard spots filled, but this guy, he maybe changed the game when it comes to complaining or baiting, if you want to say that. In James Harden, man,
absolutely huge name. That's the recent meme on my whole life. On my whole life, he said.
On my whole beard.
For an out of bounds call.
Unbelievable.
On my whole life. Fantastic stuff. Are we ready? I don't think anyone's going to guess it, or if they are, it doesn't matter. He's a legend. He's a legend defensively. He's a legend in terms of winning, and he's a legend in terms of not just crying to the refs, but barking at him too. Draymond motherfucking Green, MSU's own. Give it up.
Uh,
Look,
what can I say? Apparently, it ain't easy being green as
it
far
is
as getting the
no.
calls go. But like that clip of him like complaining and just like losing his mind, and Curry just standing next to him, like is so funny.
Which
But
one?
yeah,
Which
which one is fair?
Please.
It's very fair. But the dude is he is team tantrum more than
Mhm.
crybaby. It's not just whining, it's like throwing absolute fucking fits about it.
I respect it though because he kind of does for bitching at the ref what the Pistons do for defense and fouling, where you can't call every foul. You can't call every horrible thing that he calls. If he's doing it constantly, you can't tee him up every time. Like truly, it's the same principle. And he grew up in the going to work locker room. He was around that, so he respects Detroit basketball. So this is your first team all crybaby. And I gotta say, I think that if this is a second apron team. I'm not gonna lie. This is an expensive squad, but I don't think any team's beaten them.
Yeah.
I think they could take down OKC. I think they could take down the Spurs. I think this team beats the Pistons because you got Cade Cunningham on Cade Cunningham. That's a tough matchup. But no, let us know. What did you think about our first team all crybaby? Are there any teams we missed? Any players we missed? We had fun doing this. This was a fun.
Oh wait, I forgot one thing that we didn't. This team doesn't have a coach, dude.
Oh my god!
How could we?
Wow. Who to lead this squad? Did someone refs public enemy number one bench? Yeah.
I think that's fair.
That's fair, Richard Giampor. You put Şengün instead of Draymond. Yeah. Again, we got to go body of work on this.
Yeah, and you know who's making the decision to start Draymond over Şengün is our most complainingest coach, and that's of course
Let's go. Give it up for him.
This dude throws challenges like Happy Gilmore throws the flag, like just pulling it out of the hole, ripping it out. The dude is so upset
good
all the time. People
Public
talked about it
enemy
last
number
year. Does any coach complain more than JB to the referees? I mean, he's got a case.
I think he's been right a lot more this year.
Not in the challenges.
No, but doesn't he actually have a really good record?
No, he has a high volume of success. He has the second worst record. he has like the most challenge wins with the second worst record in challenges.
King of the frustration challenge.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you just got to go on principle.
Sometimes he just calls the challenge to bitch out the refs, dude.
Yeah, that was good. Or a timeout to bitch out the ref. I love that. Yeah.
Can I real quick talk about the tech assigned to Asar Thompson from a couple of games ago? Asar gets the clean steal. Tony Brothers calls the foul. Asar turns to JB and does the challenge motion. Tony Brothers gives him the technical foul. That was insane, dude.
That's not what I thought you were going to mention. I thought you were going to bring up the no call on Ron Holland when Randall got him in the face.
Smacked him in the face. Oh my God, man.
That was the one where he just called the timeout to bitch at them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that justly so. You got to do that.
Yeah. Because what are we doing? And then, so this is just so weird, and we don't need to get on a whole rabbit hole about it, but this is what happens is
Tony Brothers retiring this year, thank God. Dude, retire.
Yeah, but we still got Scott Foster. We still got Scott Foster, the worst of all. But it's so weird so they'll miss stuff like that or miss stuff like that, and then just try to balance it out in the second half by making some other calls that maybe are correct, but not calls they've been making the whole. The inconsistency is crazy, and both fans of both teams end up just irate,
super furious. Totally warranted in their furiosity, if that's a word. Scott Foster knows where the bodies are buried.
Yeah, Scott Foster, star of number one draft king. Number one. He's the fix is in. Scotty does know. For all my Euro trip fans out there, throwback.